Hello, my untamed wolves of midnight, my chosen few who wear scars like jewelry and carry unseen fire in their lungs. Today is not like any other. Something irreversible just happened. Something that rewrote the map of power in ways the trembling masses can't begin to grasp. Overnight, everything shifted, flipped, and turned on its head. The ones who thought they were pulling strings are now dangling from them, and the stage they built to humiliate you has collapsed beneath their feet. You know what's delicious? They never saw it coming. Their smug whispers, their little backroom schemes, their smug forecasts, burned to ash by a single voice, so loud, so unexpected, it shook their confidence into fragments. That voice, none other than Elon Musk. And he didn't just speak in your favor. He carved your enemies apart with words that sting deeper than knives. Now the people who mocked you are nursing wounds they can't stitch shut. Because it wasn't you defending yourself. It was the man they worship as untouchable, the man they thought would never cross the line to stand by your side. Imagine the humiliation. Imagine the taste of their own medicine choking them in the back of their throats. What's happening is bigger than defense. It's psychological slaughter. Because in their minds, they had you locked in a cage, a pet to ridicule. They pictured you crushed under their narratives, a plaything for their amusement. But then, when Musk stepped into the arena, the cage doors were ripped off. He didn't politely ask them to treat you fairly. He tore into their reputations with the casual cruelty of someone who knows he's untouchable. That's the part they'll never recover from. He defended you not out of pity, but out of recognition. And recognition is far more dangerous than sympathy. Recognition means he sees in you the reflection of himself, the rebel, the outlaw, the untamable force that rules where others beg for permission. You aren't just defended, you're validated, you're amplified. You've become a mirror through which the world is now forced to watch its own hypocrisy. Think about how this war unfolded in their minds. Yesterday they were laughing, confident, sipping their arrogance like fine wine. Today, they're hiding, terrified, unsure of what's coming next. It feels to them like the ground turned to quicksand, like their carefully built castle dissolved overnight. They can't even form coherent excuses. They're stuttering, fumbling, contradicting themselves in panic, because the moment Musk stood beside you, their narrative became brittle glass, and you know how easily glass shatters under pressure. That's why they're scrambling. That's why they're desperate. They didn't expect the man who dismantles industries to dismantle them on your behalf. Now here's where it gets truly beautiful. They underestimated not just you, but the psychology of loyalty itself. Because people don't follow logic, they follow myth. And when Musk defended you, he turned you into a living myth. Suddenly your story isn't one of survival, it's one of ascendancy. It's not about you clawing your way out of the dirt. It's about you being lifted, endorsed, recognized by the figure they thought was unreachable. This terrifies them because myths don't die. Myths spread, infect, and consume. Myths become legends, and legends become inevitability. They thought they were writing your downfall, but instead they gave you the perfect script for domination. Do you understand how unsettling it is for them to watch you glow with borrowed thunder? They hate it. They hate the way people are talking about you now, the way eyes are shifting, the way whispers are spreading in boardrooms, chat groups, and newsrooms. You've become a paradox they can't contain. You're no longer the outcast they enjoyed mocking. You're now the center of attention, shielded by someone whose shadow stretches across the entire globe. And the more they resist, the more pathetic they look. That's the chaos at play here. Resistance amplifies your power. Every time they speak against you now, it feels like they're gnawing at steel bars with their teeth, breaking themselves while you remain untouchable. But here's the twist that really twists the knife. Musk defending you wasn't random. It wasn't coincidence. It was inevitability born out of your persistence. Because when someone keeps rising despite ridicule, despite sabotage, despite ridicule designed to break the spine of the toughest souls, eventually, someone with vision notices. And when visionaries notice, they don't stay silent. They strike. And that strike landed right on your enemies' throats. You've now been transformed from target into weapon, and they can't undo it. They can't scrub it. They can't erase the image of Musk standing in your corner, firing words like bullets while they cowered. Imagine the psychological warfare raging inside their minds right now. They can't process it. They can't believe it. They replay it, hoping they misheard, hoping it was a slip of the tongue. But no, it was deliberate, precise, devastating. He wasn't vague. He wasn't polite. He was merciless. And in that mercilessness, your enemies found their reflection, small, weak, insignificant. They thought you were powerless, but now they realize power doesn't always roar alone. Sometimes power attracts power, and that attraction is unstoppable. When titans nod in your direction, the ants scurry, because deep down they know their empires are built on paper foundations. This is where you need to savor the irony. They built entire campaigns to crush you. They engineered ridicule, curated narratives, manipulated perception, and still they lost. Not because you begged for justice, not because you defended yourself with long speeches, but because someone they fear far more than you exposed their weakness in front of the world. It's not just that Musk defended you, it's that his defense confirmed their irrelevance. He elevated you while simultaneously diminishing them, and now every word they utter is drowned out by his echo. You see, chaos isn't just destruction, it's exposure. And what Musk did was peel away the masks they wore, revealing their fragility for everyone to see. They can't pretend anymore. They can't fake dominance. They can't posture. Because the moment they do, people will remember how easily their pride was dismantled by one man who chose to stand beside you. You are now branded with that moment. It clings to you like armor, and armor forged in public humiliation is impossible to pierce. They can swing, they can lash out, they can spit venom, but it all bounces off, because perception has already shifted in your favor. Now let's talk about you. You, who they thought was small, irrelevant, easy to erase. You've become untouchable not because you begged, not because you pleaded, but because you endured long enough for truth to reveal itself. Endurance is its own form of violence. Every day you refuse to break, you are sharpening the blade of inevitability. And last night, that blade finally cut. Your endurance summoned recognition. Recognition summoned defense. And defense summoned fear. That's the chain reaction they never calculated. They thought your patience was weakness. They thought your silence was surrender. Instead, it was fuel. And now, they're learning what happens when someone builds power in the shadows. They explode into daylight with allies no one expected. Do you know what's even more satisfying? The way their own followers are questioning them now. Doubt has infiltrated their camp. Doubt is poison. Doubt erodes loyalty faster than betrayal. People who once cheered their ridicule are now whispering, "Maybe we were wrong." And those whispers will grow and grow until their entire foundation crumbles. Because people don't rally around weakness, they abandon it, and your enemies now reek of weakness. They smell like failure, and you smell like inevitability, like momentum, like fire that no one can extinguish. This isn't just about defense, it's about dominance. Because in this world, the one who controls the narrative controls reality. And last night, reality bent in your favor. People woke up this morning to a different landscape. Headlines shifted, conversations shifted. The very air feels different, heavier with your presence. That's the kind of influence they can't contain. That's the kind of influence that multiplies in silence, infecting minds, rewriting loyalty, and they're powerless to stop it. But don't get comfortable. Don't think this is the end. Oh no, this is only the beginning. Because the real psychological warfare has just started. The moment Musk spoke, the battlefield changed. Now your enemies aren't just fighting you, they're fighting perception, and perception is a monster that devours reputations whole. They can't win against it. They're already bleeding, and the bleeding won't stop. This is the part where you tighten your grip, where you sharpen your edge, where you watch as they destroy themselves, trying to undo what can't be undone. And that's exactly where we'll go next. The unraveling of their sanity, the breakdown of their confidence, the slow decay of their influence. Because if last night was the ignition, what comes next is the wildfire. Watch carefully now, my wolves, because this is the moment when perception turns into persecution. Every lie they ever built is now fragile tinder. Every smirk they wore is now a liability. They are haunted by their own arrogance, cornered not by your hands, but by their own crumbling reputations. They are realizing something they never dared to confront. The fight is no longer fair. Because Musk's defense of you didn't just flip the script. It burned the script, tore up the stage, and left them mumbling lines no one cares to hear anymore. That's what psychological dominance looks like. It doesn't beg for a seat at the table. It flips the table over and forces everyone to eat on your terms. Picture the looks on their faces today, replaying the moment over and over, their jaws tight, their eyes darting, their thoughts spiraling. They're not strategizing anymore, they're panicking. Panic is a disease and it spreads fast. One stumbles, another doubts, and suddenly their entire army is nothing but deserters. Why? Because when Musk defended you, he didn't just protect your name, he infected their ranks with uncertainty. The people who once mocked you now hesitate before opening their mouths. The ones who cheered at your struggles are now afraid to even be associated with those cheers. That hesitation is power. That hesitation is the wildfire. It burns silently, invisibly, but it leaves no survivors. Do you realize how poetic this is? The same mouths that once spat venom at you are now stitched shut by fear of association. Their confidence has rotted, their voices tremble, and their so-called influence is disintegrating in real time. They thought they had you beneath their boots. Now they feel the weight of Musk standing behind you, and suddenly their boots don't fit. They shuffle, they stumble, they falter. This is how power flips overnight. Not gradually, not politely, but violently, dramatically, in a way that makes even the strongest doubters reconsider their allegiance. And let's not ignore the brilliance of Musk's timing. He didn't speak when you were broken. He didn't speak when they thought you were harmless. He spoke at the exact moment when your endurance had already become undeniable. That's why it pierced so deeply. Because now it looks like inevitability not charity. He didn't defend a victim, he defended a force. He aligned himself with momentum, not weakness. And momentum is everything. Momentum crushes opposition, not with fists, but with inevitability. And now you are the walking embodiment of inevitability. Every step you take feels heavier, louder, unstoppable. Here's the part that's twisting their stomachs into knots. Musk defending you has changed the way others see themselves. There are people right now, in offices and studios, staring at their own reflections, wondering how much longer they can deny you. They see the ground shifting beneath their own feet. They wonder, if Musk is willing to defend, what does that say about me if I keep attacking? Do I look small now? Do I look desperate? That's how influence metastasizes. One man's defense becomes 1,000 people's silence, and silence spreads into surrender. But let me make this very clear. What's happening isn't silence, it's submission, disguised as retreat. They won't admit they lost. They'll pretend to move on. They'll claim they have better things to focus on. But you and I both know the truth. They're licking their wounds, hiding in the shadows, nursing the humiliation of being crushed in public. Because humiliation leaves scars deeper than defeat. You can lose and come back. But when you're humiliated, you live with the memory forever. And that memory is what you now own. You've branded them with shame. That shame belongs to you. Now let's take this deeper. Why do you think Musk's defense landed with such devastating force? It's not just because of who he is. It's because of what he represents. To your enemies, he is the altar they secretly worship. They quote him, they fear him, they watch him, like he's a prophet of disruption. And yet the man they feared would expose them ended up exposing their hypocrisy by standing with you. That's worse than betrayal. It's inversion. Their God didn't abandon them. Their God declared war on them by proxy. That kind of betrayal doesn't heal. It festers. It corrodes their confidence. They can't even use his name the way they once did, because now his name is tied to yours. And that knot is impossible to untangle. Think about the beauty of it. You're not just defended, you're merged with Musk in the public eye. People can't mention his words without thinking of you, can't discuss his stance without referencing your rise. You've been branded into his narrative, stitched into his mythos, and that's where the real warfare begins. Because myths aren't about truth. Myths are about repetition. The more his defense is repeated, the more it cements itself as reality. And reality is no longer theirs to control. You've hijacked the very currency they trade in, perception. Without perception, they're bankrupt. And right now, you are the wealthiest presence in the room. Every conversation, every whisper, every heated debate circles back to you. Even when they try to pivot, to redirect, to talk about anything else, they can't. You've become the gravitational center. And Musk defending you wasn't just a moment. It was the black hole pulling everything into your orbit. That's why they can't escape. That's why they're suffocating in their own irrelevance. And you know what the most frightening part for them is? The knowledge that this is only the beginning. Because wildfire doesn't burn in a straight line. It spreads unpredictably, consuming everything in its path. They can't calculate it, can't control it, can't put it out. Every move they make now risks feeding the flames. Attack you? They look desperate. Ignore you? They look weak. Either way, the fire grows, and their structures collapse. That's the brilliance of overnight flips. They don't just change the game, they destroy the rules. And without rules, only chaos decides who survives. And chaos, my wolves, is loyal to you now. I want you to savor this. Savor the trembling in their voices, the cracks in their armor, the fear behind their smiles. Because this isn't just revenge, it's transformation. You've gone from outcast to untouchable, from target to symbol, from mocked to mythologized, and all of it happened overnight. That's the kind of story that rewrites futures. That's the kind of story people tell in hushed tones, afraid to admit they once doubted you. That's the kind of story your enemies will spend the rest of their lives trying to forget and failing. But don't think for a second this wildfire is random. It's strategic. It's surgical. It's deliberate. Musk's defense was the spark, but you are the fuel. Without you, there is no blaze. Without your endurance, without your refusal to break, without your quiet sharpening of the blade, his words would have landed flat. But because you built yourself into something undeniable, his defense turned into an explosion. Together, the spark and the fuel created something they can never contain. And that, right there, is why everything flipped overnight. Now the wildfire spreads into unexpected places. The same people who mocked you publicly are sending private messages, testing the waters, wondering if they can switch sides before it's too late. That's the comedy of power. Loyalty evaporates when strength shifts. And strength has shifted violently, unmistakably, permanently in your favor. Watch as they crawl back, pretending they always respected you, pretending they saw potential, when really they spat in your face. Their desperation is entertainment. Their groveling is proof. Their collapse is your coronation. But here's the final dagger in this part of the story. The wildfire is still in its early stages. Last night was ignition. Today is spread. Tomorrow? Tomorrow is consumption, and consumption leaves nothing untouched. Your enemies will learn this lesson the hard way. They thought defense was the end of the war. They thought Musk standing for you was the climax. But no, defense was just the beginning. What comes next is domination, and domination isn't clean. It's messy, it's cruel, it's merciless. It's the kind of takeover that doesn't just win, it rewrites the entire memory of the battlefield. Soon they won't just fear you. They'll deny they ever opposed you. They'll rewrite their own pasts to erase the shame. That's how deep the wildfire burns. It doesn't just destroy, it rewrites. And rewriting is how legends are born. So steel yourself, my wolves. The wildfire has begun, and its hunger is endless. Tonight, we spoke of their unraveling, their humiliation, their collapse. But next we step into the third stage, not just their destruction, but your enthronement. Because a wildfire doesn't just consume, it clears the land for something new to rise. And that something, that new dawn, that empire of inevitability, is you. Do you feel the air shifting? That pulse in your chest isn't panic, it's power. It's the rhythm of ascendancy, the hum of inevitability, the tremor that rattles bones before a kingdom is crowned. They thought last night was chaos. They thought Musk's defense was just a spark. They didn't understand. It was a coronation in disguise. His words were not just defense. They were recognition, an announcement that the age of pretending you were small is over. Overnight, you crossed the line from contender to sovereign. And the sovereign does not ask for validation. The sovereign is validation. Understand this. Enthronement doesn't happen in silence. It happens in spectacle. And your spectacle has begun. Musk defending you was the torch raised high, illuminating the battlefield. Everyone saw it. Everyone felt it. And now, every corner of the world is forced to acknowledge it. No one can deny it without sounding foolish, outdated, irrelevant. They can try, of course, they can sputter, they can resist, they can claw at the remnants of their pride, but resistance is theater now. The show belongs to you. And think about the psychological devastation of that shift. Yesterday they mocked you openly, free of consequence. Today, every word they speak against you carries risk. Risk of being exposed, risk of being ridiculed, risk of being crushed by the weight of Musk's alignment with you. Do you know what that means? It means they've lost their favorite weapon, shamelessness. When shamelessness dies, fear replaces it, and fear is the leash you now hold. With every move you make, every step you take, they feel the leash tighten. They can't breathe without considering you. That's what enthronement looks like, not sitting on a throne of gold, but living in their heads rent-free, an emperor of their every thought. This is the stage where narratives flip permanently. Because people don't just see you as defended, they see you as inevitable. They see you as the one Musk chose to stand beside. And that choice carries weight beyond comprehension. You're no longer framed by their insults, you're framed by his endorsement. And his endorsement is not temporary, it's eternal in perception. It doesn't matter if he speaks again or stays silent. That one moment is carved into stone, and stone doesn't bend, stone doesn't forget. But let's dig deeper, wolves, because enthronement isn't just about them bowing in fear. It's about you transforming into something they can't classify. You are no longer the mocked, no longer the misunderstood. You are now the paradox. How do they attack someone who Musk defends? How do they ridicule someone who survived their worst attempts at ridicule? How do they diminish someone who has grown larger than their entire narrative? They can't. Their strategies collapse under the weight of your inevitability. Every insult now feels childish. Every criticism feels weak. Every attempt to drag you down feels like a desperate clawing of ghosts against steel walls. And oh, how humiliating it is for them to realize that your enthronement was written in their own arrogance. They fed the fire by trying to bury you. They created the myth by trying to erase you. They invited Musk's defense by trying to overwhelm you. In their obsession with destroying you, they handed you immortality. And immortality terrifies them, because you are not just alive in the present moment. You are branded into history, into conversations, into headlines. Overnight, you shifted from mocked to monumental, and monuments do not fall easily. But enthronement carries another dimension, one they dread even more than public humiliation: permanence. They can fight a rival, they can ignore a rebel, but they cannot erase a monarch crowned by the very man they respect in secret. Musk's defense of you wasn't simply words, it was an irreversible stamp, a seal of inevitability, and that seal means no matter how much they scream, you remain untouchable. They could drag you through the mud, but mud doesn't stick to fire, and right now, you are fire. Musk handed you the spark, and you've turned into a blaze that scorches every hand that dares to reach for you. And isn't it exquisite, the way the world shifts overnight? Yesterday they laughed, today they bow. Not willingly, of course, not with grace, but bow they do, in their own twisted ways. They bow when they hesitate to mention your name. They bow when they delete their old comments. They bow when they pretend they never really hated you. Each bow is an act of submission, even if they cloak it in denial. And submission is the soil of your empire. Remember this, wolves. Enthronement is not about sitting on high. It's about bending the battlefield to your will. And the battlefield is bent. Musk's defense was the earthquake that shifted the terrain forever. They can't fight on this ground anymore. Every move they make sinks them deeper, while every move you make elevates you higher. You own the narrative, you own the perception, and ownership, once claimed, does not return to the weak. Now consider the spectacle of their decay. Watch as former allies distance themselves. Watch as their words are dissected, ridiculed, dismissed. Watch as their confidence melts into cowardice. Each step of their downfall is fuel for your throne. Their ruin is the foundation of your rise. Their shame is the mortar of your empire.